I wanted the white line to stop people parking in front of my drive. So I approached the council. They sent me an application form. I filled in. I had to pay £160.70. Then I found out that the white line hasn't got no legal bound whatsoever. So I think, I said, why you charge £160.70 for a white elephant? It doesn't do nothing. It's not legally bound to anyone, and people still do it. Not everybody, but some people are unpolite, And the thing is, sometimes you got to argue with people, to move them, and they can be threatened,
The council say the white line was never meant to be, legally enforceable, but it was supposed to act as a deterrent to stop people parking in front of your house. Now, you said you weren't told that.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't told nothing, in a way, that the white line is there, and that's it. That's it.
I'm really sorry that Mr. Avanzento is aggrieved. However, the council did write to him, making it absolutely clear that the white line was not enforceable by law, but it was used as a deterrent and has been proved to be successful as a deterrent. I have a copy of the letter if you'd like to see it, but we are clear that we did advise him of that. We actually take enforcement action against inappropriate parking by drivers where they're blocking an illegal crossing, a footway crossing. And if Mr. Avanzento had phoned, and again we provided the phone number of our parking enforcement division, we would have actually immediately attended and taken enforcement action against the driver. I have to say he hasn't contacted us.
If it's not enforceable by law, you can't stop people parking the line. Say it wasn't on a drop curb. What's the point of having the white line?
Right. Well, as I've said, we can enforce, not because of the white line, but it is illegal to actually block an appropriate footway crossing. However, again, as we pointed out to the gentleman, the situation is that it is used, it is a deterrent. And I think we have evidence, although it's not actually recorded evidence, that people do take note of, an additional note, if you like, if there is a white line.
Well, unfortunately, his case is all too typical of what disabled people experience. London has a premium on parking, and as a driver myself, I know how frustrating it can be to find a parking space. But unfortunately, what a lot of people don't consider is that drop curbs are an essential way of people getting in and out of their properties. For disabled people particularly, something as simple as getting in and out of their property is really fundamental to their independence. So when drop curbs are blocked in the way that Jack's been experiencing, it can be particularly problematic.
Could he not have had something else, like a yellow line put in front of it, a double yellow line, a disabled parking bay, or a sign saying, look, need 24-hour access, disabled resident living inside?
My understanding is that it's very difficult to get those sorts of signs put up. In London particularly, parking spaces are at a premium, so you have a choice of whether you have a designated disabled parking bay or on-site parking and a drop curb. Now, the installation of a drop curb, if it's done at the householder's expense, can run into thousands of pounds. What I would say to Jack and anybody else that's having this problem is that they should consider asking if they can offset the cost of installing white lines or drop curbs against any care services that they're receiving from their council. If they're actually contributing to the cost of any care services, they can talk to an organisation such as ourselves about whether that could be classed as disability-related expenditure and actually offset against any payments that they make.
Lovely. Final, just kind of quick thought at the end, really. What do you guys think about what has actually happened to him? And I know you said it's frustrating and awful, but do you think this thing should really be happening? Should he just get a white line outside his house and effectively just come home and see if he can actually park or not?
Absolutely not. I think that yes, it is a very frustrating situation for him, and it's one that's experienced by a lot of disabled people, and not just disabled people, people that need to get access to and from their properties, people with push chairs, and also, importantly, access by emergency services to properties as well. It is a very frustrating situation, and I think that what's called for is a little bit more consideration by drivers when they're thinking about parking in London.